Greetings, everyone, and happy Friday. We are here today with my guest.
Hello.
How's everyone doing? Today we have a message and we have a reading. So I'm super excited to
We
be here with you all.
we also got like face paint.
If you didn't notice. So, announcements. Announcements are that May 7th, Devin, Anthony, and I are going to be out at Empowered Yoga. We're going to be doing our chakra journey.
And I won't be invited.
She's invited.
Oh yes.
We'll see what happens. She's the coolest guest, isn't she?
Well,
So grateful.
I'm the dancer who collects all their energy.
Yeah, definitely. So today so we'll be out on Empowered May 7th, okay? It's going to be at 7 p.m. It's going to be a guided yoga practice with some sound meditation and then spoken word to go through the journey.
And
Okay?
my dance is going to be like the wind dance. The wind dance.
Yeah. So today Evelyn and I practiced.
And Anthony.
Anthony's going to be there, but
Yeah.
we're switching gears here. So today, this morning, Evelyn and I did some creative artwork. Would you
Just
like to,
now.
Would you like to tell them about your art?
I feel like you should go first.
You feel like I should go first?
Yeah, you go first since you're the one who.
Okay, so I was the initiator of this, and for those of you that have been connected with me for a while, you know that I really love to do artwork. Like I love to do face paint. And this piece that I did today is a reflection of what I feel like I'm going through. I feel very I'm going to get into the story in a little bit. I want her to be able to share before I like dive deep, right? But I also wanted to share that this is something that is going to be in one of the day retreats that I'm going to be creating. It's going to be a very small, intimate healing ceremony here in my home. So for those of you that are interested in doing some artwork in terms of like face paint, in terms of self reflection, going on a shamanic journey, doing some breath work, doing some meditation, doing some movement, and just really spending time together, eating some good food and just chilling, a day to kind of separate and to get away. That's what this is going to be for. So I'm going to be posting the date for that very soon, probably at the beginning of next week.
And what I thought about our painting is...
Oh, she's going to share what she thought about my painting.
So the red side, I thought that was like a fireplace, and the green side, I thought that was earth.
Yeah. Drop some comments below. What do you guys see in this artwork?
Yeah, I think you'll definitely see that.
And so go ahead and share about yours.
Okay, fine. So the top part, you see like a kind of like beautiful pink thing on top of my forehead. That's the sky. And the little green thing on below, that's like the town. And these little like black things on my chin, cheek, are like little people. My third eye is actually the moon. And then these three like little people I painted like blessing the moon for love. And I also have a drawing if you can't really like see it. Like you see the moon, clouds, people, grass. I made a little drawing just in case you didn't know what I meant.
Yeah. I love how Evelyn allowed her sky to be pink rather than blue.
Yeah, because it's like a sundown.
Like a sunset.
Like a sunset.
And pink is also like associated with love, and the heart chakra is green.
I was just going to say the word heart.
Mm-hmm.
You're dry.
Yeah, it's dry. Well, thank you for sharing. I'm
Yeah.
going to go ahead and get into the reading and start doing my message. Okay.
I will teleport back soon, soon.
Okay. My child, yeah. I love her too. She's hilarious. They said thank you for sharing. Sandy said thank you for sharing. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Okay. All right, everyone. So, um, I love how E was able to see really the expression of what I feel like I'm going through as well, right? I definitely have a lot of fire energy for those of you that have been around me. I also have a lot of earth energy in me as well. Of course, I'm an air sign, I'm a Gemini, so like, and all of us are very multifaceted. And but I do feel in this time of my life that I'm in a cocoon phase. And I feel that we collectively are in a cocoon phase, which is asking us to really be still and um, be with some of the things that are coming up in us. I follow a page that has been talking a lot about the electromagnetic activity that's going on right now. And they're basically saying that there's a bunch of like solar storms that are going on, and it's really creating some big waves. And our cells, our energy body is reacting to that. I know in my own personal journey, I've been hearing a lot of the internal dialogue that I've been carrying with me for a long time. And before the solar flares started, before the storm started, I felt like I was in a good place. So I know that as a human, sometimes we feel like we get into these really great places, really great spaces, and then we feel like we're in control, right? And then what we find is that we are part of the whole. So as these waves are coming in, to believe that to remind us that we are not completely in control, right? We're not completely in control of everything. But the thing that we are in control of is ourselves and our reaction to the things that are happening, not just outside of us, but also within us. Yeah, Buffy, the Schumann resonant charts are off. Yeah, I've been seeing that. Thank you for sharing that. So that way, for those of you, Schumann resonant charts, okay, that's what you can look up to get a little bit more information or to see the graphs, like to see the charts, okay. Um, I am I am in a place, and I'm just going to be very frank before I get into these readings. I feel that there are parts of me that have been held back for myself first and foremost, but also for the rest of you. We live in a world where there's a lot of where we're trained to be very masculine. There's a lot of structure, right? There's a lot of logic, like our intellect, our mathematics, and our science are really leading, and our creative arts are things that are being defunded. They're being left behind, and a lot of highly intelligent people who are also deep feeling creative artists as well, we're being asked to leave that part of us behind. And I have found that I fell into that. I fell into that. Yeah.
I'm just saying a goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. I love you. Keep the love. Bye.
Keep the love. Bye. I just see her like poking her head over. We're like, it's like the feminine parts of us, the creative parts of us, the imaginative, the intuitive parts of us, like this complete other duality of structure and thought and logic is being asked to leave. And there's a real danger in that, because whenever we start pulling too far to one side, right, what happens is naturally the laws of nature are going to pull it back extremely on the other side. And so for those who are in charge and leading our communities, like, I hope you understand the laws of the universe, because if you keep pulling us too far to one side, it is nature that is going to pull us really far back on the other side. And it's going to be very uncomfortable for all of you. But for all of us that are here, I really do think that it's really important for us to like lean into that level of healing. It's time for us to lean into the creativity in order to keep the scales as balanced as possible. And first and foremost, we do that balancing within ourselves. And so that's kind of why I showed up here. You know, in this capacity, in with this face, because this is also very much the face of who I am and what I love to bring to my work and what I love to bring to my clients is level of playfulness and creativity and fun. And I hope that all of you are bringing all of that inner child energy that Evelyn really brought forth. I hope that all of you are able to experience her magic and her joy and embody it today as we are in the middle of some huge waves that are asking us to show up fully, to know what we can control, to honor and respect the things that we cannot control. And what do they say? To have the wisdom to know the difference. Yeah. To have the courage. Yeah. All of that fun stuff. All right. So let's go ahead and get into the reading here. So I'm going to shuffle the deck. And if anybody would like a reading, if anybody would like me to tap in, tune into the energy, you are welcome to drop a comment below. Happy to tune into you and kind of share my most authentic way. Cards are nice, but if I'm being honest, my favorite tool is my body and my energy system. Okay. So this is just going to be for the collective and just grounding, right? Because whenever we use these divination tools, grounding, especially with all these energies coming in, tuning into the vibration of gratitude and divine love, we are so grateful for all those that are here today. We're so grateful for the grand rising that we had, remembering that our work is not done, that it is only the beginning, and that each moment is a new beginning. And for that, we are so grateful. We're asking for loving, supportive messages that are going to help us as a collective continue to move forward. I'm so thankful for all my guides who are stepping forward, all of my angels and my ancestors. I love you guys so much. I would not be where I am. All right, let's rock. All right, Buffy and Sandy, I got you. Let me do this collective reading first. This, of course, is my Journey of Love deck. Lots of cards wanting to come out. That's like the third time. The third time that a chunk came out. But I'm asking for two or three. I'm okay with that. First card is the Cloak. Now, this came out before, and that's okay, right? Remembering that energies are going to carry over. Time is, you can't just expect everything to change. So we'll go through that. And I'm not going to read out of the book this time. I'm going to do an intuitive read. Hello. I just want to see. Okay. Contemplation. I also see Rachel and Denise. Yeah, absolutely. How about one more? Woo! Came flying out. She is the moon. Evelyn, my little channel, over her third eye, drawing the moon. Who is she? Like, really, though, who are our kids? Divine beings. Divine beings. I'm so honored. So honored to be her mom. She's such a blessing. She's so dope. Like, man. Okay. And then I'm going to pull a couple of cards here from my Mystical Shaman Oracle. Again, we are so grateful. Thank you so much for honoring us. No place I'd rather be than with all of you here. this moment. Okay. I think I would just like one. If the what does it matter what I like? That's hilarious. I love when I do that and I hear that response. I'd like one. Oh, really? Thanks for letting us know. You've allowed her to be who she is. I try, you know? I tell you guys all the time, like, this was the age that I had the prophetic dream that my mom was gonna die, you know? And she did. And so, like, by honoring Evelyn, I'm honoring myself, you know? I'm honoring the truth of who I am and the truth of who we all are, right? We have a card, Mystical Shaman. Ooh, Taming the Wind. Look at that. Okay. I am going to read out of this deck, the Shaman deck, just because I love how it's written, but I'll also channel at the end. You guys know how I do. So thank you for everyone for being here. For those of you that are just joining us, it is your shaman, your sister in spirit, your friend Alesha here. We are doing some readings and going through some messages, okay? So the first card that came out is card 50, and it is the cloak. And again, this card came out over the weekend. And I'm going to do an intuitive read here. Immediately, I'm drawn to this blue piece right here. And to me, it looks like an eye. Okay. So I really feel like this is talking about the blue representing divinity and protection, the divine presence that is over you, right? And also understanding that that is your cloak, like beyond the cloak that you are wearing, right? The cloak that you're wearing is an illusion of protection because your true protector is divine, is the divine, is God, are angelic beings. Okay. I love how she's standing here alone and she's looking down, though. She's not looking out into the beautiful yellow sky, right? She's looking down to what appears would be water. And water, of course, being those deep emotions, water representing emotion, and the cloak protecting herself from these emotions. Yeah. And she's kind of in the water. And there's grass beside her. So she's kind of in that space in between this water here and the water that kind of leads off into infinite sky and space. Yeah. The next card that came out was Contemplation, right? Again, looking down, hands on her knees, the colors of blue, which to me represent expression, the throat chakra. These ribbons, these flowing things which kind of remind me of the also the wind is talking about communication as opposed to the first card, right? Everything's pretty still, everything's pretty much touching the ground. Now we have this flowiness coming in. Also, the sun is still there, that golden yellow. Her hair expanding up into the sky, like little antennas. I feel that. And her eyes are shut here. And she's having a moment to herself, still. But like a gust of wind is coming through. And I can almost feel like this preparation, this moment of like feeling, like this is like protecting herself from feeling, right? This is sitting still inside of the feeling. And then the moon. She is the moon. The moon representing emotions, the divine feminine, right? And she's looking not down, but at the light as it spirals and expands. And although it's not blowing things around, like blowing her up into the air, it is blowing at her, toward her. I love how her bottom is exposed here, covered. She's showing her ass. You know? She's showing herself. And so is she. Yeah. This is a message for you. All of this, these are all a message for you. Okay, so Taming the Wind, what does it say? It's card 55. I'll let you guys take a peek at this. And then we'll get into readings here. Personal readings. 55. Two numbers, two of the same numbers in order. 5. I'm not really good with numerology, if I'm being completely honest with you all. I feel like 5 talks about change. The essence, here the feather. I'm going to hold this up. Here, the feather, a symbol that is used in clearing ceremonies for smudging, reminds you of the sacred commitment you make to your life. This is the symbol of consciously bringing the spiritual into the material, infusing the world with reverence and an acknowledgement of the higher planes of existence that influence and animate all life. The feather is a symbolic reminder of deliberately entering into a partnership with the Great Spirit to co-create for the highest good of all. The invitation. It's time to clear your energy, be present, and be conscious of how you communicate. This is a good time to write in a journal or put your thoughts into a cohesive form. Perhaps you need to actually do a smudging ceremony in your home or office, creating a sacred space to write about your dreams and desires. Just remember that when Taming the Wind appears as a symbol, it's time to honor the Great Spirit with reverence and respect. It's time to clean up any misunderstandings with others, clear the air after disagreements, and allow others to share their side of things. You are called now to be a good listener. This is not a time to be right. It's a time for you to understand rather than to be understood. Good things come out of this restraint of tongue and pen. You will be surprised at how things get resolved when you allow for all sides to have value. So it's interesting because like what I and all of you, any like flash of like, yeah, that's what that means for me. Absolutely honor it. What I feel coming through is also understanding that the thoughts that you have, yeah, the thoughts that you have are just thoughts. You don't have to get offended by your thoughts. You don't have to get emotional from your thoughts. Like, how many of us are getting triggered by our own selves right now? Not even necessarily by the outside world, are just getting emotionally riled up because of the things that we are creating inside of our heads, our imagination, our thoughts, our old belief systems. And truly for me, that is what has been coming up. It's like I sit in silence and I'm just making up stories. I'm making up stories about things that I feel insecure about, that I don't feel worthy of, that I don't feel worthy of, that I feel insecure about. And the question is that insecurity and lack of self-worth also a story that I'm telling myself? Ooh, can you feel that? Right? We're not just talking about the story itself that's coming from a place of insecurity. We're talking about the insecurity itself could be a lie. And are we willing to release that story? Are we willing to let that go? The story that I'm not worthy enough. It's like, yes, I am. And I know that it can be difficult. to let go of those pieces of self, especially when they are so deeply ingrained. But aren't we powerful creators that are co-creating with life itself? You know, aren't we co-creating an experience for you right now? One that is deep and sometimes can feel very serious, but ultimately is light and fun.
I'm back,
She's
baby.
back. You know, can we let go of the story so that way we can enter into a space of fun, childlike nature?
I'm a Leo.
She's a Leo. She's here to burn up any of that leftover matureness, adulthood that we have been told needs to be when it absolutely doesn't. That doesn't need to be a reality. Who told us what it means to look like an adult? I know somebody told me, and I don't agree. I highly disagree. I feel like this is what it means to be an adult. You know, to continue to fully express all pieces of who I am unapologetically. You know, this is not childish. This is expression. This is me. Yeah. So, so mm,
This is womanhood.
this is womanhood.
This is womanhood, people. Love kids. Plus us to take care.
Mm,
Go relax. Go to a swimming pool.
right. So like even and I want to be like open about this before I get into the readings, right? Because I don't want to stay here too long. It's funny how watching her be free and just like showing up here and being like, ah, deeply makes me uncomfortable.
What? How dare you?
How dare I? You know, how dare I try to contain? How dare I try to tame the wind? But
That's my dance.
but that truly is what I feel like happens as we get older. Like we get tamed and then we begin taming ourselves. But can we let go of the cloaks? Can we let go of the protection, the illusion of protection, and know that our true protector, the one really protecting us, is up here, this co-creation of protection? And this does not mean throw away all of your boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are beings who are on a planet of duality, which means we are on a planet of healing and suffering, of love and war. So definitely, you know, have your armor. But like this sis right here, she's covered, but she's not. You know? She's covered, but she's not. And that is divine. And for me, that is the goal. Like, look at the progression of here. She's wearing a whole cloak. Now she's wearing this beautiful flowy dress, right? Still covered. And now, still a barrier, right? Still something to cover the parts that she feels need to be protected. But ultimately, she is still seen. Yeah, so like, I feel this so hard and heavy in my journey right now. All of the ways that I have put masks on, that how I've shown up here in these spaces, how I've shown up in classes, you know. There's a difference between being grounded and being guarded. Yeah, there is. And I know that because I've experienced it. So I feel whatever message came through, whatever you got out of this, I hope that it resonates. You know, definitely clear your space, clear your mind, clear your soul, clear your emotions. Because with all of this energy coming up, you are moving from one body of water into another body of water, which is really going to send you into a place of deep reflection, insight, and really opening up some space for some vulnerability and authenticity. To be whole, to be you, to be exposed, but not in a way that feels um scary or too much, but to be exposed in a way that you are the moon in all of your many phases, that your light is shining. Okay. So, Buffy, me too, deep. Yeah. Rachel, I needed to hear that today.
Yeah.
Yeah, so did I. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and like do I'm gonna teeter back and forth. I love to use my body, but um I'm gonna be completely honest, I'm used to doing this in like a very controlled container. So having this extra fun energy is like I'm swirling. I'm swirling right now. Okay. So I might pull a couple of cards if I feel called to do so. Other than that, the first person, Buffy, I'm gonna go ahead and like check in with you. What's going on, sis?
What's going on,
So
sis?
so good to have you here. Hmm.
I see what's going
I'm just checking my chakras real quick for you. I'm just like feeling what the vibe is here. So and immediately what I get pulled to is like the center of my chest, like the heart chakra. Okay. Um, it feels it feels a little uh solid is the word that I want to use. It feels solid and it also feels like it's also towards the it like goes back and forth between the front of my body, the center, and the back. So it's kind of like bouncing back and forth in there, which to me, it's being impressed upon me, right? Like when I think about that and when I kind of like tune in to it, and then it kind of like opened up, like compressed, right? That like not compressed, but like released there. So what I feel is going on is that there is something within heart, trust, self-love, the love of others, the balance, unconditional receiving is kind of like what I'm hearing here. Receiving the gift of self, I'm hearing. There is this heart journey that's happening where the heart is going deep into the back to me represents the subconscious, like the parts of us that we've kind of like put behind us that we haven't looked at, and then bouncing back forward. It's like there's this intentional flow of like I'm going in and then I'm coming into center and then I'm coming out and then I'm going back in again. And that moment of like release that I had. Hey Benet, so happy to have you here.
on. Hi.
That moment of like release that happens shows me that something is going to like this work that you're putting in is really going to create the goal that you're looking for, which is ultimately is this release. I literally it was almost like a volcano eruption or like a fountain where it was like funneled into one space and then it exploded up and outward. That's why I like the vision of an eruption came up, like which also like that fire, like that phoenix energy. But it feels really light and freeing, like a fountain, you know? And immediately like they're showing me or they're allowing me to feel like when you stand by a fountain, how like that mist kind of like hits your face. And I'm even seeing like a woman like like opening up through the chest, lifting her face up towards the sky, like feeling the refreshment, how refreshing it feels to finally be set free and to be let loose of this deep dive, like of this pressure. Um, I'm getting a little bit something in my left ear, okay? And it's real deep in my ear. It's almost like where my ear chakra is, honestly, but then it kind of like drops down into my neck. So to me, what that's talking about is the process of listening. I feel like maybe there's something that's not being heard, but because it like dropped down into my throat from like the SEM, it's almost like something about hearing and then expressing. So maybe there are some messages that are coming through you that are really needing to be expressed. Um, and like because it's in the feminine side of me, because it's on the left side, which to me is the feminine side, it does feel like emotional. It's so funny because then like that one meme came up like emotional damage. Like like that came up for some reason. So like really really listening to maybe yourself. Yeah. Because like I said, and then my ear just started ringing. So like because it was super deep in my ear, it's like are you listening to yourself? Yeah, and then using um and expressing it in a way that feels most authentic to you. Does this resonate? Does this make sense? Um, I also heard like a message that was just like, "Hello, love. I want you to know that we've got your back." So just somebody coming through, making sure that you know that you are more supported. That I think that I know that you know you're supported, but I think that there's actually even more support than that. So being mindful of that. Okay. So I hope that that resonated for you. Oh, okay. I'm so great. I said emotional damage out loud after you said emotional. You crack me up, Sandy. I'm oh, okay. I was trying to figure out how to do this, but I can see it now.
We can all see it now.
Nice. Good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad, Buffy. Thank you so much for joining in. It was so nice to have you here. You are a phenomenal woman healer. And
Lover.
I love her. So next up is Sandy. Okay.
Ooh, Sandy.
Sandy, as soon as I tuned into you, like the bass dropped. Like that's always what I say whenever my energy kind of like shoots down into my root and my sacral. I'm like, ooh, the bass just dropped. So um I really feel let me tune into this a little further because it just like hit me. Okay, so then after now that I'm tuning back in, like I also feel like this almost like this pressure, like this fog or this pressure right around this area from like the neck up to the ears, which would make sense, y'all, because like look at all these cards. They're all blue. They're all blues and pinks, right? We're all talking about communication. So I love you too, Buffy. Um, so what, let me keep going here. I'm also feeling this energy kind of like shooting down my arms, like especially down the backs of my arms, like the triceps. So what is this all trying to tell me? I'm being told that this is a time for you to be creating a new foundation. I feel like you are doing a lot more work than you're aware of, like that you're giving yourself credit for, especially since it's in the back of my arms. It's like, okay, I'm doing a lot, but I'm not paying attention to it and I'm not noticing it. Also, with the heaviness being around my ears and my neck and my shoulders, um, I heard like the weight of the shoulders. Like I have the weight of something on my shoulders, but I feel that the weight is coming from this and like I can feel like my throat, like my the muscles in my neck starting to like get a little tense. I do feel that there's something that wants to be talked about. And honestly, I think it is from self. Like I feel like there's a part of you that wants to be recognized and it doesn't want to be recognized by everyone else like deeply like there's a part of your inner self that like wants to be recognized by you by all that you do. Like you do a lot. Like my triceps feel tired. My upper back feels tired. So then what I feel like is because it's my upper back, right? And not like my heart, but it's still like my heart is kind of contained in the upper back area, right? Not really looking at um how much I'm giving from a place of love, how loving I am. Like, yeah, there comes times where we say like I'm a loving person. Like I'm such a loving person where we say it like that, but how deep how deep is your knowing, right? Like that song like how deep is your love? Is it like the ocean of devotion?
Illusion.
Oh yeah. So like so is how deep is your love for self? How deep is your recognition for self? Because everything is in the back of my body, and I feel like what it wants to do is it wants to have the opportunity to come forward, like to be at the front of you, to be seen by you. And that's what that new foundation is inviting. That pressure from my neck went away because I feel like that wanted to be spoken out loud. Like when is that? When am I going to see myself? And really like how powerful I am and how much I'm actually putting into my life and to those around me. So both of my ears are starting to hurt. And they don't feel deep. It kind of feels like right where the ear canal is. So for me, that is talking about hold on, let me ask real quick. Okay. It almost feels like I'm pushing energy out of my ears. So that to me represents that maybe I'm not listening. Okay. Now, when I say I'm not listening, I want to be very clear. This could be I'm getting that there are people around you that are channeling divine messages through to you. Like there are people that are telling you things that you that are not coming from them. Like they're coming from like almost like little angels are whispering into their ears and like they're just kind of saying it out loud and you're not hearing them. You're not receiving them. Okay. So maybe be a little mindful that sometimes the person that is delivering the message is actually the messenger and not actually the creator of the message. Does that make sense when I say that? Not giving myself the permission to say and accept that I'm doing enough is literally draining me lately. Yeah. So I feel that. Okay. And so with all of these cards that came out, right? Because I blocked the dancing queen in the background. Maybe move it out. Like maybe that's what Evelyn's body is really trying to say, right? Move it out of you. Shake it out of you. Trying to find ways to take off the cloak, not giving myself permission. What is the cloak that's not giving you permission to hear these things? You know, what is the barrier that is getting in the way from you and acceptance? It's a thought, the thought that I'm not doing enough, right? Is that it? I'm not doing enough. I'm not enough. That is an illusion. That is the cloak. Okay? The cloak of protection. So take that off. Take that idea off of you. It doesn't serve you anymore. It's not who you are. You've done enough work to know you're enough. And maybe if you're not there, then just take off the thoughts. Notice when those thoughts come up like I'm not enough. Then allow the highest version of yourself, the most vulnerable part of yourself to come forward and speak. Tame the wind, tame the communication inside of you. Okay.
I'm training to do the
that
wind dance.
is telling you that you are less than enough because the divine in you and the rest of us know that you're doing your best and that's all that anybody can ever ask from you. You know, your best is more than enough. All right. And knowing that that best is going to change because the cycles of the moon are also changing all of the time. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Okay. Rachel, you are next. I said that makes sense. I'm glad. So many ways to get this energy to move, right? Because what's happening is that it's just starting to build up pressure. We have to poke little holes inside of us to let it out. So, but see if you can like listen to those thoughts and really just say like, I don't believe that. That's not my truth anymore, you know? And I know you exist because you existed here for a very long time, but like, I'm letting you go. I'm releasing you like that wind, like releasing it up to the heavens, like her hair. Okay. And yeah, Benay, I'll get you in. All right, Rachel. It's so wild because as soon as I say your name, because I said your name twice, all right, like immediately, like my whole body feels like it's like electric right now, especially in my arms. Excuse me. Especially, ooh, you've been doing those mudras, right? Or those nidras. I can feel that. I can feel that on you. Like these points of activation on the fingers are like starting to send this electrical energy through the body. But it's interesting because like I'm getting this aching, just like I'm getting this aching in the back of my arm. And it goes into my shoulder blades. And I feel it like wrapping under my shoulder blades, like towards my mid back and around my ribs. That's really interesting. Let me tune into that a little more and see what that's trying to say. Okay. So I got like this visualization of wings, and then I said, let me let me see what it's trying to say. And then this bird outside was like, caw, 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 caw. So to me, it is talking about like some wing energy, which of course like that feather came up, right? I remember a part of my journey whenever I could literally feel myself like growing these energy wings. Like that's what it felt like. It felt like I had like I don't know, like wings coming off of the back of me. So I feel like you are rebuilding your subtle system. Like by cleansing and purging some of these things that are coming up for you, what it really is allowing you to do is like rebuild your subtle body, your energy body, which is really powerful. Like even as I look at this wrinkle, like these wrinkles on this white thing that comes up, like I see a bird's face, but I see it smiling. Like what is that about? When I ask what that is about, I hear like your highest self is doing some crazy things for you and you are participating. Like you are an active participant in what you have planned for yourself right now. Um So then from there, whenever I said that, like I got this feeling and I felt it from my heart. But then when I put my hand on my heart, it felt like it was getting a little bit lower, which is like where the solar plexus is. And I almost feel like this energy that's like coming from my solar plexus and it's shooting up into my heart and it's kind of coming out of my mouth, but it's also shooting up towards my head. Um, which would make sense because of the practices that you've been doing, right? So I do feel this like movement of energy, especially energy that might have been stored up in that solar plexus. It's still moving though. Like there's still like I want like what they're telling me to tell you is that like there's still stuff there in that solar plexus, okay? So then what I like instinctually, like what my body wants to do is I want to like breathe out almost like so do you know how like in breath work there's the fire breath which is like a I'm not feeling that like what I'm feeling is like a full deep inhale and do you hear how I'm breathing how like the breath isn't like a like a funneled like it's kind of closed off it's a So like really opening up through the throat and like imagining breathing that fire out of you. Okay? That's going to help that. The other thing, and I'm going to check before I give this to you because it's like sometimes cooling breath is really nice, but like, is that a part of what you need right now? I just saw the word yes. So, okay. Okay. So then what I'm being told, like one little tip that being told to give you is to practice cooling breath, which is shitali or shikali breath. All right. So you can do this one of two ways. The first way is to put your tongue like a straw, like this, and breathe in through that straw. Okay. Breathe it in, breathe it. Literally imagine that breath going down into the solar plexus. Okay. So breathing it in, holding it, feeling that diaphragm start to press down. Okay. Feeling your diaphragm press down on the solar plexus. And then when you exhale, exhale through the nostrils and literally imagine that warmth, the steam coming out through the nose. That's going to help uh uh it's not going to put the fire out, okay? But what it's going to do is it's going to help keep it at a comfortable at a place that's a little bit more comfortable and tameable. And also thinking about like I almost hear inside of me like but I just want it to come out. Like I just want it to come out and I want it to be over with, which is totally fine, but I'm giving you this tip just to bring a little bit more comfort because it literally feels like my subtle body, like my solar plexus is hot and that I'm literally breathing out hot air. So then what that makes me think about is maybe like what kind of heat taming the wind, right? The wind is the communication. Like what kind of fire is coming out of your mouth right now that maybe is not completely accurate for you, you know? Like what thoughts, words, things that you're saying to yourself or others that aren't accurate to a balanced you because the solar plexus is a little hot right now. Does that make sense? So, so the other breath, if you don't do the tongue, I guess some people can't do that, is you put your teeth together and you breathe in through your teeth. Okay? Again, breathing in, holding, pressing that down against the diaphragm. And literally every time I do it, breathe out of the nostrils. You'll feel that heat, that steam coming out of there, out of the nostrils. Okay? So that's for you. Is there anything else you have for Rachel? I mean, basically they're saying like you are at the precipice of like the work that you are doing is divine. Okay? So like it is exactly what you are looking for, needing in order to move forward to this next part of your journey. Um you're doing a group like you're killing it. Like that's how I want to like you killing it, you know? Like you're doing mwah, chef kiss, okay? So I hope that that tip that came through from your guides was helpful. All the last thing that I want to point out is that my left ear also feels a little like I'm not hearing something. The left, of course, is the feminine side of us. Um, and again, it kind of feels like this energy that's like shooting out of my ear. So I would say just be mindful of listening, of hearing other people, what they're saying, knowing that sometimes the messages that are coming from people are not from them, but that they are the messengers, and that it's going to be an important time to kind of like listen. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Denise is next. Oh, let me adjust my seat. Okay, Denise, let's see. Let me. So immediately I literally get this tension in my upper shoulders. Like it's really tight. I'm also getting it towards like in between the shoulder blades and the spine. This feels more like muscular than it does. Um, this feels muscular. So then when I think about that, right? When I think about something being like physically in the body, let's see who said that. Denise, I'm actually rubbing my shoulders as you speak. That's hilarious. Right. Like I feel that. What? So, but then when I like fine tune into my body, I'm like, what is causing this? Right. And immediately what my shoulders wanted to do was this. Like I just wanted to just start bringing them up. So the muscles that actually lift the shoulders that way are levator, which comes from the scapula and it attaches to the neck. Also, the top of the traps will do that as well. Um, they are telling me that you have had some responsive like bigger projects, like some weight, pardon me, some weight on your shoulders. Um, but it's so weird because when I'm like, what's the weight on the shoulders? They're talking about like physical, like job or um clearing a home or like they're talking about something like that. Okay, so it's like the physical aspect of working, doing some kind of physical activity is weight on the shoulders, the body. But they're also talking about um stress in general. Um, Give me 1 second because there I have to switch gears here. I have to switch from like energy mode to like massage therapist mode because that's what they're asking me to do. They're talking about like something about your mind though, which is so interesting to me. It's like they're showing me you kind of sitting in silence, like not talking a lot, but it's also strange because I feel like there's a difference between somebody that's thinking a lot and it's like catalysting anxiety where it's like the mind is like right. I don't feel that from you. It's almost like I'm having deep thought, like thoughts that aren't super chaotic but they are very deep, and the depth of them, it doesn't cause anxiety levels of stress, but it is causing some kind of stress that forces that you lose connection to your body. That's what they're talking about. That it's like there's like these thoughts that are happening and it's taking the mindfulness out of being in the body, which simply more is about breathing than breathing and saying like, okay, I'm going to relax the shoulders down. I'm going to relax here. I'm going to relax here. Does that make sense? Yeah, because my shoulders just keep my shoulders keep wanting to like come up. And that's just what they do. Like they just wanting to keep very slowly. It's like I'm thinking about something and my breath gets just a little shallow and then my shoulders just like slowly start to come up higher and higher. Okay. So be mindful of that. Be mindful of I feel like that is causing a little extra stress and tension. The only thing that we can really do is one of the techniques that I share, right? Relax the shoulders down. I'm gonna relax here. One of the techniques that I did the other day, I was having a lot of issues with my mind. It was feeling really chaotic. And I literally told myself, what would my body feel like if I was relaxed? Like, show me, what would you look like if you were relaxed? And I immediately just like, and sometimes it took me a minute because like some of my muscle fibers were like still wanting to hold on, but I was like what would it look like if I was relaxed? And I kind of did like some of this, and then I just like kept going there. Even when they started to come up, even when my body likes to do this number where it like collapses inward. Um, like walk and sit like you love yourself. Walk and sit like you have no care in the world, that everything is just chilling. Okay, so that's just a technique that I use. It was actually extremely effective for me. The other thing that I would say to do is like gentleness. How would it feel if you sat more gently? If your arms are more gentle, right? Unplugging. How would it feel if you unplugged your shoulder, like your arms from your shoulder socket? Like, what would that feel like? It's like, oh, like immediately my body was like sinking deeper, right? What would it feel like if I softened between my neck and my shoulders? Like everything just got super loose. And that was very nice. So that's just a tidbit. Is there anything else that you'd like to share? I mean, they're just talking about you being a light source. They're talking about you taking the opportunity to really sit down and recognize how much of a light being you are. You're doing work. Your beingness, your smile, the way you talk, the way that you engage with people is so profoundly healing. Okay, like it is the healing work. So, um, for any of the times that you wonder, like, oh, I wonder what my gift would be, like, you are your gift. Like, you got it so simple, like, it's all just a matter of, like, convincing yourself, of showing yourself, because, some people, they have to, I think all of us, our resonance, we are our own medicine, but, like you really just light up a room when you walk into it, and that's what they want you to know. Like, you don't just light it up like in societal terms. It's like, ooh, she walked into the room and it lit up, like, seriously, you walk into a room and it literally, your light lights up the room, and the lightness that comes with you clears out the darkness and the heaviness in the people around you. And that is such a gift, and you are a gift. And that's what they wanted to share. So I hope that that was helpful. Heard that before from someone. It couldn't have been me. I wonder who it was. I don't know. I feel like your guides are like, just keep telling her the same thing over and over. I love you so much. I'm just checking in, seeing I know Benet, you wanted a reading. We got Rachel, we got Denise. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Benet, you're next. Woo woo. All right, let me tune into you here. So immediately, like what I first felt was like this flash of like happiness and joy. And then the longer that I sat there, like really created space to go deeper, I started to feel some heaviness inside of my body, and I start to feel a heaviness like specifically in my chest and heart area. I also feel I also feel a little bit of like tiredness or soreness in my throat, and I feel um some solidness. I just really try to be careful with my words. I feel like density, like something that's solid in my solar plexus as well. So let me tune in and see what these are all kind of saying. And then my left shoulder blade is aching. Like my whole like upper left quadrant is like aching a little bit here. Okay. So you feel that. Okay. Um, so what like right if we're starting with the heaviness in the chest, right, like the direct extension of that is going to be like the heart. The arms are the extension of the heart, right? So the right side, I'm sorry, the left side is associated with the feminine energy, which feminine is about receiving. Okay, so I feel like there is a not wanting or difficulty. There is a little bit of a challenge here for you in that. Um, say that. Okay, so what they're talking about is like if we're thinking about masculine energy as being like solid, right? Like, and masculine energy, masculine, alpha, I prefer to call it alpha energy. Alpha energy, which all of us have, right? Because I also have alpha energy where I'm like doing and participating and doing and giving, taking. I'm sorry, I'm taking. Um, I'm sorry, that word is not accurate, and they're being very clear because like the word taking almost no, right. Right. Sorry. Sorry, you guys are witnessing me talking to my guides. I'm like, I'm having a conversation with them. Um Taking is receiving. So this is the giving hand, right? So when we are giving ourselves really in this alpha energy also is the duality of the expression of solid foundation, like structure. Okay, so what's happening is that heaviness in the chest is because we're using the heart space to put out a lot of stuff, and the left arm is feeling weak because we're not receiving. And the feminine side is the softness, it is the movement, it is all of that, like free flowing imaginative creativity. The word that's flashing in front of my mind is trust and acceptance. um they're talking about some inner child work. They are talking about yeah, they're talking about like this cloak energy that's around the heart space, like from receiving. And it's wild because like they're also showing me like younger people, like younger people trying to express love to you, their love to you in their own unique way, and like you knowing that they're doing that but it's not being fully received into the heart space. Okay, but like overall, like I feel like good, like I feel light, like the out part of me, like my aura and like all of that all feels light. Like I feel like I'm having fun. Like I feel like I'm having a good time. Like I feel light, but it's just in that chest area that I feel that heaviness. So then they're taking me to the head, and like I get this little band of pressure that's coming around my forehead here. And what they're saying is like there's thoughts in there. There are thoughts in there that are heavy. Like they're heavy and they're really towards self. Yeah, that's why like acceptance and trust came in. Yeah, okay. And then once I said that, that's when my solar plexus started like ga, 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 ga. So like I think that this has also to do with like maybe some like self-confidence stuff. All right, like it's affecting the self-confidence, it's like self-defeating. Like we're in a mental state that's like super self-defeating, and that's what this initial reading was about. So like I don't know if you were here for it, but what they were talking about was like layers of protection. Okay. Like, I think that the self-defeating thoughts are a cloak that we are wearing on ourselves. And like now with all of the solar activity, like the solar storms that are happening, and like what was it? The Schumann's resonance. I'm at resonance. I'm still learning, but like there is like a lot of electromagnetic wave coming in, and a lot of people are feeling this coming in. Okay, so what it's doing is it's showing us like this is an opportunity for you to see the cloak that you're wearing, the protective parts of the ego that are coming up for us to sit with, for us to look at, not to hate, not to judge, to look at, and to go into contemplation about whether or not this stuff is actually true. Thank you, Thank you, Buffy. Yes, Schumann resonant. Right? So going back in, like this stuff is coming up for you to become the most vulnerable, authentic version of yourself. Okay? And how we want to do this is we want to tame the conversations that are happening within us, tame the wind. Okay? So, like, none of this is to say, oh, you're not doing it right. All of it is to say, we see you, we honor you, we love you. And here is a time, here is an opportunity for you to take this and grow, like to allow what you came here to heal, what you came here to let go of. Now is the perfect opportunity to do this, because it is so heavy and loud within you that it is undeniable. You cannot not see it. It's so there. Okay. So sit with it. I know that this had talked about journaling, right? Writing it down and not identifying with it, because something just came up for me, which is like telling people like I can't do this because I'm in the middle of healing this, right? Like, is that also a cloak? I can't do this because of this. I can't right now. Or is it your authentic truth? You get to decide, because we cannot tame the wind unless we can feel it. You know? Like, we have to be willing to allow the wind to like blow through us and allow our communication, allow our truth and lies to come up. We have to allow both lies and truth to come up, so that way we can tame it. We can really tame it. Cool. So I hope that resonated with you, and I hope that that was helpful. That was everybody that asked for a reading. I love you all so much. Oh my gosh. I'm back. She's back.
Sorry,
Just in time to say goodbye. We're logging off. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna keep your hands away from that.
We're logging off.
No.
But I am going to be posting the dates in this group and on my page for the donation-based services. There's going to be a link on my Calendly account for the days and times for that. All of those appointments are going to be through Zoom. Okay. If you guys would like
Have a beautiful day too.
if you would like to schedule something in person, the price is, there is going to be a price, but it is going to be highly discounted. Okay. I am going to go ahead and share a little bit more about that day retreat. Love, please please let me finish this. I'm losing my train of thought. I'm going to post.
Big back.
Right.
No.
Hold on, let me move that energy out of my body for a second.
Never will.
Yeah. Moving it all out of us. Let it go. Okay, so I am going to post more information about that day retreat that's going to be here at my house. All right. I think I'm only going to have room for like 5 or 6 people, and we're just going to have a day of activities planned. I'm going to make some food.
We're gonna do
And we're gonna go through some healing modalities and
and we're gonna play games.
something like that. Yeah, we're gonna play.
Yeah, we're
Really.
gonna play a lot of
So
games.
so I love you all, and
Don't
I love you all so much. We're gonna go. We're
No.
gonna go do some fun.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
I love you all. Okay. All right. Hey. Yes.
No.
All right.